Out of the world. Confusing Monday morning. Sky grey, intermittent rain, sun pouring through. Make your mind up. It's like life, isn't it? One thing, another thing, both at the same time. Social media would make us believe that things are straightforward. They're not. Basically, we live in a state of complexity, and it does nobody a good service if we pretend that complexity is simplicity. However, the next step we each need to take is often relatively simple. We don't have to complexify things, they're complex already. But we don't have to simplify things and pretend that everything's nice and simple when actually it's not. We have to find our path through the landscape of storms and mountains that we all live in. My, what a thought for a Monday morning. I'm exhausted already. It's time to bibliomance. This is the 20th of my daily online bibliomancies, where I find a random book from my bookshelf, dip into it and see what it says to me. Today, my fingers connected with How to Win Friends and Influence People, the classic by Carnegie. I read it not so long ago, actually. I've known of it for years, but I read it not so long ago. And it struck me as full of integrity and decency and gentleness, honesty, in a way that so much of how we are nowadays told to influence people seems to me to lack integrity. Excuse me. So anyway, let's have a quick glance at what Dale Carnegie is going to tell me today. I have arrived at page 127. The inspector straightened up in his chair, leaned back and talked for a long time about his work, telling me of the clever frauds he had uncovered. The inspector sat back in his chair and talked for a long time, telling me of the clever frauds he had uncovered. Oh, the complacency. Oh, the self-righteous smugness of the person who goes, I've seen through you. I've worked you out. I know what you're thinking. I've uncovered your fraud. And while we're at it, I've uncovered all my own frauds as well. You know what? I constantly surprise myself by my ability towards self-delusion. I think one thing and suddenly realize, hold on, that's probably not even true. I constantly surprise myself. Having spent a lifetime working against a deep, deep anxiety and shame, or shamed from an early age, I constantly surprise myself by doing something and then being overwhelmed by shame about it. But no, the inspector, this figure of authority that we've all got trotting around our heads somewhere, sits back and says, I've sorted out the frauds. I've worked out all of the things that are going on. And the coach or the mentor goes, I know what you need. I know what you're feeling. I felt exactly the same. I know what you're going through. I've been through exactly the same bullshit. The complacency and smugness of assuming that we know a damn thing. I was thinking about this morning, actually, in relationship to something else I was reading with my morning coffee. That the heart of what I think I can offer as a coach and a mentor, and the heart of what I'm looking for when I've been with a therapist or a coach or a mentor, is a space where I can talk and unconditionally be heard, and in the act of talking, I can hear myself. I can discover my own evasions and delusions. What I can offer as a coach and mentor, what I've always offered, is to be a place, to offer a space of unconditional, shame-free acceptance in which the person I am working with can see themselves. And for me to approach that from a position not of going, I can uncover your frauds, but to say, I can ask you questions when things don't ring quite true, but I'm not claiming I know the answers. Oh, it's not very marketable, is it? Oh, no. It's much more marketable to say, here's 3 things I know that you need. Here's 1 thing that I can do for you. But perhaps all of us can really do for anyone is to create a space where we can each be ourself, and in being ourself, learn to be ourself better. If you'd like me to hold that space for you, you just have to reach out for me. I have space for more clients at the moment, and I'd love to work with you. I will not be the inspector sitting back and talking for a long time about all the frauds that I have uncovered. You know, I must go back and read Dale Carnegie again. He's a lovely writer. I hope your week starts magnificently.